Hi everyone, welcome back to Money Moves. I'm Jennifer, and today I will show you what I believe is the simplest and easiest way ever to become a millionaire. And what's most powerful about this strategy is that anyone, regardless of your income or education level, can do it. And what's even crazier is that after the initial setup, you don't even need to do anything. Yes, that's right, your money makes money while you sleep. My video does have a bit of Canadian context since we have a type of tax-free account in Canada, but I believe other countries have similar tax advantage accounts as well. Even if you don't have access to a tax-free account, by following what I'm outlining here, you would still substantially increase your wealth before tax. This strategy is designed for everyone, whether you're just starting your financial journey, working in a job that doesn't come with a six-figure salary, or looking to maximize what you've already saved. Let's break down how you can set yourself up for financial success and build a brighter, wealthier future step by step. Before we start, a mandatory disclaimer here. Please note that this video is for informational and educational purposes only and does not constitute financial advice. I do hold a CFA charter, so I do have formal education in finance, but I am not a licensed financial advisor, and viewers should consult with a qualified financial professional before making any financial decisions. While efforts have been made to ensure the accuracy of the information shared, past performance is not indicative of future results, and all investments carry risks. The opinions expressed in this video are my own. With that said, let's get started. Einstein famously said compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world, and I'm going to show you what it means. You can use any calculator website. For me, I have always used calculator.net because of its simplicity. Let's say my starting amount is $0 and I want to hit $1 million in my portfolio by the time I retire, and my investment horizon is 30 years. Assuming an average return of 10% contribution at the beginning of the year. Click calculate. The results show that if you contribute a little over $5,500 per year for 30 years with 10% average annualized return, you can hit $1 million in 30 years without any starting investment. To add context, I'll include a table showing the annual TFSA contribution limits since 2009. It fluctuates year by year, but except for the first 4 years in which the contribution limit is $5,000, all other years the contribution limit has been higher than that. In 2024, it is $7,000, and I think it's more than likely it will continue to be higher than $5,500 going into the future. So if you max out your contribution rule each year, surpassing the $1 million mark is not just possible, it's likely in my opinion. And since the TFSA is a tax-free account where you get to keep everything you have earned without count, with no tax whatsoever, you don't need to adjust these numbers for tax at all. Going back to the calculation, where do I get the 10% from? According to Investopedia, the historical average return of S&P 500 since inception in 1957 through 2023 has been a little over 10%. I will over-repeat myself that past returns do not guarantee future returns, but for the purpose of our study, if we need something as a benchmark, I think using the historical average return is a fair assumption. That's why for the purpose of simplicity, I have assumed 10% as the assumption for the rate of return. Now, since we are doing calculations, let's see what happens if, instead of investing in the S&P 500, you had invested in the Nasdaq, which is an index of technology stocks. Instead, let's check what the historical average returns for Nasdaq is. According to this website, since 1985, so that's 39 years, the Nasdaq has produced an annualized return of approximately 13.5%. Going back to our calculator, we can go to the end amount tab since we want to know what's the value of our portfolio by retirement with the same contribution amount and 13.5% as rate of return. Starting amount is $0, investment horizon is 30 years, and return rate is 13.5% compound annually and contribute a year $5,500. Contribute at the beginning of the year. Click calculate. You would have over $2 million by the time you retire compared to our previous example of 10% return. This shows how the math can add up significantly over time. Of course, the Nasdaq is more volatile because it consists mainly of technology stocks. You can see in some years it can be very volatile, so you must consider your risk tolerance. But these calculations show how seemingly small differences in the rate of return can impact your outcomes significantly if you have a long enough investment horizon. Let's go back to to our $1 million portfolio. How do you put in perspective what it means by having $1 million in investment account by the time of your retirement? Sure, $1 million seems like a large number, but what does it really mean? How would it impact our life, and how much can we use from it? An important consideration in retirement planning is the balance between the risk that you outlive your retirement account, meaning you run out of money before you pass away, and the risk that you leave too much money in the account and not enjoying life while you're still alive. Everybody know that we cannot take money with us when we die, so as much as possible we want to balance these two competing forces. In retirement planning, there's a long established rule of thumb called the 4% rule, which suggests that you can withdraw 4% of your portfolio annually for at least 30 years without running out of money. The concept of the 4% rule is attributed to Bill Bengen, a financial advisor in Southern California who created it in the mid-1990s. The rule was created using historical data on stock and bond returns over the 50-year period from 1926 to 1976, focusing heavily on the severe market downturns of the 1930s and early 1970s. Bengen concluded that even during untenable markets, no historical case existed in which a 4% annual withdrawal rate exhausted a retirement portfolio in fewer than 33 years. Going back to our $1 million in investment account by retirement, that means you can withdraw $40,000 per year in retirement adjusted for inflation, and your portfolio would still sustain you for at least 30 years. Assuming a reasonable market return, this rate of withdrawals means that most of the money withdrawn would be dividends, interest, and gains on investments, not principal. That's why it can sustain you for a long period of time. To put this in perspective, remember you started by investing $5,500 annually for 30 years, and in return you get to withdraw $40,000 every year for at least 30 years. $40,000 per year. I want to take a pause here because this is mind-blowing even for me. In investing, the sooner you start, the better, but let's say you finish school by 25, and the first few years after school you have a lot of expenses, so you can only start investing at 30. By investing just $5,500 every year at 30 years old, by the time you are 60, you would have $1 million in your portfolio, which can provide you with an income of $40,000 a year until you are 90. And because we put our investment in TFSA, the entire amount is tax-free. And this is just one count. You still have CPP, and if you have a spouse who can contribute similarly, or if you have other tax advantage accounts like an RRSP, your retirement income can be even more robust. The math shows how consistency over time, even at what seems like a modest contribution, can lead to massive results. In my opinion, it is something you simply cannot afford to miss. Of course, this is a generic rule, and your individual circumstances play an important role in determining how much you can withdraw. If you have health complications that would shorten your life expectancy, you would spend a bit more aggressively. Vice versa, if you retire early, or you think you will outlive the 30 years post-retirement, or if you want to leave a big inheritance to your kids, then you withdraw a bit less. But overall, the 4% rule has been an easy rule of thumb to follow for most people. To give you some real-life inspiration, let me share stories that capture the power of consistent investing. These examples show how ordinary people with seemingly modest means achieve remarkable wealth by adhering to key investment principles. Ronald Reed was a janitor and gas station attendant who left behind an $8 million fortune when he passed away. Despite never earning a substantial salary, he invested small amounts consistently over decades. His strategy included maintaining a diversified portfolio, which proved invaluable. Even when some of his investments, such as Lehman Brothers, collapsed, the diversity of his holdings ensured he remained financially secure. Ronald's story is a testament to the power of patience and diversification. Grace Groner was a secretary at Abbott Laboratories. She quietly amassed $7 million by investing in her company's stock and reinvesting all dividends over decades. Grace's lifestyle was simple and frugal, and her approach highlights how living below your means and committing to disciplined, long-term investing can transform a modest income into significant wealth. Kurt Degerman, affectionately known as Tin Can Kurt, collected bottles and cans for recycling. To those around him, he appeared poor and unremarkable. However, after his passing at the age of 60, it was revealed that he had accumulated $1.4 million by investing the money he earned from recycling. These stories illustrate that investing is not just for the wealthy. Ronald, Grace, and Kurt were not high earners by any means, but they leveraged the power of consistent investing to secure their financial futures. Their stories prove that you don't need a large income to build wealth, you just need to start and stay committed. Long-term investment yields real results. All three individuals invested steadily over decades, allowing the power power of compound interest to do its work. Their wealth grew exponentially over time, showcasing the unmatched potential of a patient, long-term approach. Diversification matters. Ronald Redd's portfolio included investments in companies that ultimately failed, such as Lehman Brothers. However, because he diversified his investments, the impact of those failures was minimal and his overall portfolio remained strong. Diversification is key to weathering financial storms and maintaining steady growth. Maximize tax-free and tax-advantaged accounts. Whether it's utilizing a TFSA, RRSP, or equivalent plans in your country, maximizing contributions to tax-free and tax-advantaged accounts can significantly amplify your wealth-building efforts. As Thomas Stanley and William Danko put it in The Millionaire Next Door, great offense without great defense is no virtue. This means that saving diligently and investing wisely are just as important as earning a high income. The stories of Ronald, Grace, and Kurt remind us that true wealth is often understated, built not on grand gestures, but on consistent, patient choices over time. I will give you a homework if you want to take a practical step towards hitting that $1 million after watching this video. Please, if you haven't already, open a TFSA account. To my knowledge, all TFSA accounts are free to open. Even if you don't have the funds to invest right now, opening the account is an empowering first step. It's a move that signals commitment and can motivate you to start saving and investing when you're ready. I'm going to say this as well. We often think of finance as a purely logical field filled with calculations, formulas, and precise strategies. But in reality, investing is deeply human. It's full of emotions, impulses, and yes, mistakes. Even with all the knowledge and data in the world, we are prone to moments when we think we can beat the market by picking the next winning stock or timing the perfect entry. And while it's tempting to believe we can do better than the indices, studies have shown that stock picking is extremely challenging. Only a small fraction of people can consistently outperform the market over the long term. There's a saying that goes, time in the market beats timing the market. For most of us, the simplest and most effective approach is to invest consistently in index funds. And I know from personal experience that even with this knowledge, it's hard to avoid emotional decisions. This is why taking steps to automate your investments or seeking a professional financial advisor can be very beneficial. The more you can remove discretionary decisions from the investment process, the better. In Canada, I find that the best account for banking and investment is Wealthsimple. I personally use Wealthsimple because I find these features especially useful. Wealthsimple offers high-interest cash account with the interest at 3.25% at the time I record this video. This account functions like a regular bank account. You can withdraw from any ATM. With these reimbursed by Wealthsimple, make payments, or set up direct deposits. I will show you an actual example of what this interest rate means. I find it easier to understand and appreciate when we see an actual example and put the number into perspective. Looking at this account right now, with today being November 3rd, and you can see that the interest is 3.25%, which means with just about $10,000 balance, I already earned approximately $1 a day. It also offers free trading. Most banks charge $5 to $10 per trade, so if you invest regularly, say every month or with every paycheck, you'll save a significant amount in fees. There are managed investing accounts for low management fees as well as self-directed accounts. For self-directed accounts, it offers features like dividend reinvestment and automatic investing. This automation helps you stick to your plan without second-guessing or overthinking, keeping those emotions in check. I would say that the trading platform of Wealthsimple is very simple, so if you are an active trader, it's probably not for you. But if you're someone looking for a straightforward investment solution combined with a high interest account and no minimums, I think Wealthsimple product is the best platform in the market right now. If you're interested in opening a Wealthsimple account, I have included a referral link below. I do receive a small referral bonus if you sign up, but rest assured, I only recommend products and services I personally believe in. My main goal is to help you move toward your financial milestones and hitting that $1 million, but the support also helps me keep making free content for you. Before I move on, I also want to address a few points about this video. This video simplifies a lot of assumptions to demonstrate the point of compounding return and investing early. I purposely overlook all the details of dividend reinvesting, currency fluctuation, management expenses ratio, and many other assumptions. The portfolio I showed you is 100% in index. Some practitioners may argue should have a more balanced portfolio, which is, for example, 70% stock, 30% bond, which would be less risk, especially when you get older. Personally, if I'm young and I have a long investment horizon. Remember, even when you are 60, you still have at least a 30-year investment horizon, meaning you still want your portfolio to last 30 years. I would still keep a majority of my portfolio in stock. Financial planning is highly personal, and there is really no one-size-fits-all solution. So consult with a financial advisor before making any financial decisions, or try to learn more on your own on this topic so you are equipped with the knowledge you need to make the best decision yourself. I will have more content coming your way, so subscribe to this channel if you want to learn more about all aspects of personal finance. I had a lot of emotion when I made this video, as it ties back to the very reason I want to start this channel. Coming from an immigrant background, I know firsthand what hard work and sacrifice look like. Both my parents and my in-law are some of the most hardworking people I know. They are factory workers, earning modest salaries, yet always found ways to give their children better opportunities and a better start in life. I have a firm belief that financial success shouldn't be only for those with high-paying jobs or finance degrees. It's for everyone: teachers, factory workers, nurses, anyone who is willing to start and stay consistent. My mom and my mother-in-law dedicated their lives to supporting their families. While financial freedom and wealth may have felt out of reach for them, it doesn't have to be for you. They may not have the necessary knowledge and favorable conditions to become millionaires by the time they retire, but you can. There is a quote from The Psychology of Money: "Wealth is what you don't see." This quote perfectly sums up the essence of building financial success. Real wealth isn't flashy. It's not about the brand new car or the designer clothes. It's about the choices you make when no one's watching, the decision to save and invest consistently to let time work its magic. True wealth is built in quiet moments when you choose patience over instant gratification. This channel exists because I believe in empowering you to take control of your financial journey. I believe in wealth building should be accessible to all, and this journey is for you. Whether you're working in a classroom, an office, or on the factory floor, your path to financial success starts with one decision, one action, and one step at a time. Let's build a community where we learn and grow together, making smart financial moves that set us up for a better future. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who could use a little motivation. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm Jennifer from Money Moves. Keep believing in your journey and keep making those money moves. See you next time.